you who know me, you probably already know that I'm a huge Crackdown 1 fan. I loved Crackdown 1. I loved the co-op dynamic of it. I loved getting the orbs. Overall, I thought it was the most overlooked game that year. It came with the Halo 3 beta. A lot of people bought it for that reason, and then they were pleasantly surprised. It was actually a good game. But the second one I can't really say the same about. The co-op just feels like there's nothing really tethering us together, and although I don't always like being chained to my co-op partner, this one it lets you so free roam that you just kind of lose sight of each other, and then you end up an hour in and you're running around without the other person. I guess you could do the same thing in the first one, but I don't know, for some reason this one just doesn't seem like it really ties the co-op person together as much. Of course, I love getting orbs. I find myself wandering off instead of doing missions, doing orb hunting a lot, because that's my favorite thing to do with the game. But the dynamic with the orbs have changed just a little bit. There's no, like, the rooftop races they don't do anymore. Now you have an agility orb that moves, and you kind of have to chase it. I really, really don't like that, because it's just a hassle. The racing orbs I don't like as well. They do still have races, but I don't know. I don't like having to chase an orb. I want that orb to be there. You know, that sound that the orb makes when you get it, that ching. It's just so gratifying. But the game overall is really kind of boring. I don't know. First of all, you're going to, like, these reactors, I guess is what they call them. And of course, they've got tons of cell around them. You kill the cell, then you take over the reactor, and then you take over all of them within this, like, little district or this little island. And then a beacon appears, and you have to protect the beacon while freaks are trying to beat it up and stuff. And yeah, it's got freaks in it, so think zombie game, just Crackdown. If you follow me on Twitter, you notice that today I also talked about I'm kind of sick and tired of all the zombies in all these games. Red Dead just announced that they were doing a zombie mode, and I don't need zombies in everything. I'm a huge zombie fan, but, you know, give it a rest. Off topic anyway, sorry. Let's get back to Crackdown 2. Also, other than going and doing the reactor missions, you take over tactical locations, which are basically like a little location that Cell has taken over, and it's just swarming with Cell. And so you go in there, you call your helicopter. Before it can come, you have to kill all the Cell surrounding it, and then you take over that location. Pretty simple. Other than that, there's freak breaches, where all these freaks come out of the ground, and you have to kill them all so that then you can cover up the freak breach. Kind of like Gears of War with the emergence holes. So that's basically the game. In that, like, 3 minutes it took me to explain, that's it. There's really no depth. And probably about 3 hours into it, with the orb hunting, you get really bored. You're just like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I do a freak breach? Do I tactical location? Or do I go to a reactor? That's really all there is to do. There's not a whole lot of game there. So I don't know. I'm really actually disappointed in Crackdown 2 compared to Crackdown 1. I thought Crackdown 1 was really, really good. I was really impressed by the whole thing. We'd seen tons of, like, co-op games and everything, but Crackdown 1 was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was amazing at the time. It was so good. And Crackdown 2 comes out and they really kind of didn't try. It's almost like they were scared to take the next step and try to make a sequel. And so they're just like, we'll just throw in some zombies in there and give them a second game. Also, one weird thing that I was really disappointed in, and this is the only time you'll ever hear me complain about not having a female playable character. Ever, I promise. Because I really don't give a shit on if I'm female or not. But I was a little pissed off, because in Crackdown 2, we get 4 character choices, 2 white dudes, a Chinese dude, and a black dude, and that's it. It's like, I don't need 2 white guys. At least give me, like, 1 chick in there. I don't care what she looks like. She can look like a guy with a wig on. Just, I don't know, give me a chick. And I know we get a helmet, like, 10 minutes into the game. But still, there's something about running around as a chick in a suit of armor. It's pretty hot. But other than that, the same dynamics are there. Very floaty jumper. You're going to be jumping all over the place, which I still love. I love jumping, like pretending Spider-Man and jumping from rooftop to rooftop to get orbs. The driving mechanics are pretty basically the same. They're not amazing, but they're not terrible. This game just kind of rides this line of, like, yeah, it's playable, it's enjoyable, but it's not great. I don't think I would recommend paying $60 for it. It almost actually feels like it could have been a DLC. It definitely could have. It could have been one of those big DLCs like GTA 4 did, where it's kind of like a separate game, but it's kind of a DLC all in the same. That's what it feels like. This definitely could have been Crackdown DLC called Freaks and more orbs. I guess. So yeah, overall, Crackdown 2, playable, fun, but not great. I would only recommend it to someone who's a huge fan of the first one. If you didn't like the first one, stay away from the second one. And even then, if you hadn't played the first one, I'd go back and play the first one, actually. I enjoyed that one much better. And it is more enjoyable, I guess, as co-op, because this time you can play with 4-player co-op instead of 2. Because then you at least have someone to talk to, which kind of kills the boredom and the repetitiveness that the game can get pretty quickly. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think about Crackdown 2. Am I completely missing the mark? Am I completely, wrong here? Are you guys really liking it? Did you enjoy the first one? How do you think the second one holds up to it? I want to know you guys' opinion on this, because I really hope I'm not completely just missing this game. But anyways, thanks for watching another video. Hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in a few.